Hey, Dave Delgado here for In the Zone. I'm with track and field athletes Derek Mendel and Janina Chris, fresh back from competing in Apia Samoa for the Pacific Games. Now, Derek, a few months out from competition, you felt that you had another run at the Pacific Games in you.
Yeah, took a few years off after 2012, and kind of just didn't feel the need to, you know, compete like in the international level in track. But last year, I, kind of had the urge. After my son was born in 2017, like I kind of felt like, like growing up, I want him to, see me like working hard towards something. So, to set an example in that way.
And from thought process to getting into competition mode, let's talk about getting that into full swing and starting the training for the Pacific Games.
Yeah, it was kind of tough getting back into that zone. Like when you step back into doing track workouts after not doing it for so long, like you realize how hard it was, and it takes a long time to, adapt to that type of training. So luckily last year I kind of used that as a way to, adjust back into track and field training, and this year was kind of, fine tuning it towards the Pacific Games.
And for you, you had two training camps heading into the Pacific Games, one in Japan and one in Australia.
Yes, I did. I had the wonderful opportunity to train in both places, and the Fukuoka camp was a real eye opener and just showed me what I was capable of. Because we had a couple of meets in the beginning, just to see where we're at as a trial, and things went well. Said, and then the other opportunity came up to go to Australia, and I just jumped at it because I get to live there for a short while and train there at a higher caliber, and I was so excited to do that. And things went really well. We did a lot of work, worked on a lot of weaknesses, a lot of speed training, a lot of fine tuning for that 800 speed, and that came in handy for the kick of the 1500. It's exactly what I needed, and definitely paid off.
And your training partners, definitely a lot taller. So, like you said, the kick and really pacing yourself because I
Yeah,
mean that's the kind of athletes that you'll be going up against in
yeah.
that stage of competition.
Yeah, it was a little bit intimidating at first, but I just sucked it up and said, "This is good for me." Definitely pushed me every single day at training. That's for sure, because that's what I would compete. I knew that's what I would compete with at the games, and if not even better. And I just enjoyed it. I just try not to be intimidated by anything and just enjoy the whole thing. Soak it all in and learn as much as possible from my coaches, from the athletes. Some of the athletes have more experience than me, and so that was really nice to be under their wing during that time and just learn from them.
Three events in a span of 4 days, pretty grueling on the body.
Yeah, and especially the three events are they're all totally different. So 1500s, it really tests your speed above everything, and it's hard for a runner to, like to go from 1500 to half marathon like a few days later. But I felt that like my training over the years and experience in different races would allow me to, be competitive in both distances.
And one of the races you missed out on a medal by zero point zero 0.06 of a second.
Yeah, it was point zero 0.03. So if you look at the video and photos, it was pretty close. I was in the position to medal throughout the whole race. It was just towards the end, it just comes down to raw speed, and the guy from Fiji just had a little bit more, and I ran out of space to try to pass him. So
I saw a video clip. It was a running event, and the guy literally dove into the finish line. Yeah, that was that ever a thought? Like, hey, if it ever gets this close, I might have to try that myself.
no, that was definitely crossing my mind in the last probably 15 meters of the race. But I felt like if I tried to gather myself to dive to the line, it would have slowed me down. Um, I thought that I was able to catch him by the lean, but yeah, I was definitely trying to. I was thinking about diving, but the last minute I decided it probably wouldn't have been the better idea.
And for you, Janina, a silver medal in the 1500. Uh, Walk us through that race in particular, and what was going on through your mind as you're coming around for that last lap.
Well, I gotta say that the whole race just went way faster than I had expected, and that's not exactly how I visualized it. I didn't know how they would play it out. I thought it might be like mini games. They would sleep the first couple laps and then race the last maybe 800, if anything. But no, it was the complete opposite. They went out from the get go, and I was like, okay, this is a little bit fast for me. I just gonna hold back a little bit and then just trust my kick to carry me through the last 8, and we'll see how that goes because I know I cannot stay at this pace right now. Um, and as soon as I started to feel I started to notice the pack of girls start to fade out, then I knew that that was my chance. I said it's now or never, and let's just go ahead and put everything into this last little bit and see how it goes. And then of course I have everybody like screaming at me and just really pulled me through that last 800 and just gave it everything that I had. It was really painful, but absolutely worth it. And before I knew it, the race was over. Um, and um, yeah, I just came away with a big PR, and yeah, definitely paid off.
How inspired are your younger sisters now that you're a silver medalist in the Pacific Games, and have they asked you advice or anything about competition? So maybe one day they will be able to represent Guam.
I think they are motivated. I know they wouldn't really admit it, but they're getting ready for cross country season right now, and they're getting ready for a trip in Japan. So they've been working really hard ever since, and they've been really happy for me. And I don't want to push them to get into running if they don't want it, if they don't love it. But of course, I encourage them to do what they love, and if that's running, then I'm all for it. And yeah.
And for you, bronze medalist in the half marathon.
Yeah.
Uh, how did you feel about that?
I felt it was kind of redemption, especially from missing out on the first day of a medal. And it was the last possible event to run for the track program, so it was rewarding, and it's kind of a sense of relief at the end. I didn't want to come back empty-handed, so I was glad I was able to come back with something.
The Olympic Games are right around the corner in Tokyo, and you represented Guam at the highest stage possible at the Olympic Games in London. For these athletes that have a chance to possibly represent Guam at the Olympic stage, how did that feel, and representing such a small island on the biggest stage possible in sports?
Yeah, representing at the Olympics is probably like the biggest honor you can achieve for the sport, and the athletes coming up, it's important for them to to realize like the magnitude of the games, and you have to really take it serious. Like if you're not taking it serious now, it's kind of too late. You should have been taking it serious a few years ago. But yeah, it's the caliber's the best that it can be, and the Pacific Games, it's a stepping stone for a lot of athletes. But just realizing that the level is a lot higher.
All right, thanks for coming on the show. Don't forget you can catch KUAM live, Facebook live for In the Zone. I'm Dave Delgado. Thanks for watching.